Okay, let's unpack this. We're taking a deep dive into learning English today,
Mm,
but not just the nuts and bolts of grammar, right?
right? Not just the technical side.
We're looking at how engaging with this language can really, well, fuel your personal growth in some pretty surprising ways.
Yeah, it goes much deeper.
We've got insights from an episode of the English Speak podcast with hosts Ryan and Sarah, and our goal here is really to extract the core of their discussion.
The essence of it.
Exactly. How learning English impacts, well, everything from your confidence to your career and even, interestingly, your emotional landscape.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How
Right.
often people approach language learning with just, purely practical goals in mind.
Like ordering coffee, maybe.
Exactly that.
Mhm.
But what our sources today really illuminate are the deeper, often sort of unexpected shifts that happen inside someone as they connect with a new linguistic world.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about ordering that coffee. It's about, well, who you become in the process,
Right. So if you're someone who's always looking for ways to expand your horizons, maybe understand yourself and the world a little better.
which is probably why you're listening.
Huh, probably. Then this is definitely for you. We're not just aiming for, better communication skills. We're exploring that broader impact on your development as a person.
And if we step back for a moment, language is just so much more than a tool for exchanging info, right?
Absolutely.
It's deeply interwoven with culture, with different ways of thinking. So by actively engaging with English, you're really opening yourself up to well, a wealth of new perspectives that can enrich your own understanding of things.
Let's kick off with the sheer global presence of English then. Ryan and Sarah on English Speak really hit on how it acts as this incredible connector.
It really does bridge gaps.
Spoken across, what, over 100 countries, and it dominates international business, science, education, media. It just creates this massive web of potential connections for you.
A massive web, yeah. And what does that global reach really mean on a personal level?
That's the question.
Well, the sources highlight the potential for friendships, right?
Yeah.
Discussions, collaborations across borders.
Yeah.
Think about being able to connect with someone in, say, Japan or Germany or Brazil,
Hmm.
sharing ideas, sharing perspectives, all because you share a common language.
It's way beyond just simple tourism, isn't
Oh,
it?
completely. It's a deeper level of connection.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Ryan mentioned how watching English documentaries gave him access to information he just couldn't find elsewhere.
Right, unique perspectives or specific data.
And Sarah echoed this, talking about the world of books, podcasts, interviews that just sort of opened up to her through English. It's like gaining a key, isn't it?
A key to a huge library. Yeah. Filled with diverse knowledge and viewpoints.
And if we think about why this is so impactful.
It really comes down to access, I think. Access to information.
Yeah.
English has become, for better or worse, a primary language for sharing knowledge globally. So, by learning English, you're essentially lowering a significant barrier to a vast amount of information and different ways of understanding the world, which naturally broadens your own perspective.
Okay, now let's look at something maybe more personal. Confidence.
Ah, yes. This is a big one.
Sarah shared her journey, initially feeling nervous about speaking English.
I think most learners feel that.
Definitely. And how, over time, she developed real self-assurance. I think that initial hesitation is something so many people can relate to.
Absolutely. And what's key here, I think, is the act of actively overcoming that initial fear.
Pushing through it.
Yeah, pushing yourself to speak English. Even when you're unsure, it forces you outside your comfort zone.
Hmm.
This constant engagement with a challenging situation is a significant driver of personal growth.
Right.
From a psychological perspective, successfully communicating, even basically in a new language, triggers a sense of accomplishment, competence, and that really strengthens your self-belief.
Exactly. And as Sarah pointed out, that sense of empowerment you get, being able to ask questions, share your thoughts, truly express yourself in a new language, it's incredible.
It really is. It's like finding a new way to articulate who you are, isn't it?
Hmm.
And the source makes a really insightful point here. It's not just about achieving perfect fluency. Not at all.
It's the effort.
Exactly. The very act of trying to communicate, even with mistakes, it builds character, it fosters resilience, and a willingness to take risks.
Yeah.
Not just in language learning, but potentially in other areas of your life too.
That makes sense. And the positive feedback you often receive is so important too.
Oh, hugely.
Ryan and Sarah touched on how people tend to respect and encourage those learning a new language. That support can be incredibly motivating. really fuel your continued progress.
It highlights the social element, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Language learning isn't just an individual pursuit. It involves interacting with others. And that interaction, when it goes well, can be incredibly rewarding and a real boost to your confidence.
Oh, okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about careers.
Right, the practical side again, but with a growth angle.
Ryan and Sarah were quite clear that English is often the language of opportunity in the job market, particularly in, international settings, multinational companies.
And what's interesting to consider here is how English fluency goes beyond just being a basic requirement on a job description.
How so?
Well, it allows you to navigate nuanced international business negotiations, maybe access specialized knowledge within your industry that might only be available in English sources,
True.
or even just build rapport with international clients in a way that directly contributes to your career advancement.
Yeah, the sources even shared anecdotes, didn't they? People getting promotions specifically because their English skills improved.
They did. Tangible results.
And it's not just about traditional jobs either. They mentioned the growth of online platforms
Right.
like LinkedIn, Upwork, Fiverr.
A gig economy.
Yeah, where English speakers can connect with clients worldwide. That offers both, well, financial rewards and maybe greater control over your work life. That's a significant potential avenue for many people.
Precisely. And if you're thinking about starting your own business,
Oh, yeah.
the ability to market your products or services to a global English-speaking audience, it just dramatically expands your potential reach and impact. In many ways, it kind of levels the playing field for entrepreneurs.
Moving on to education then, the dominance of English there is, well, it's hard to ignore.
It really is prevalent.
Brian and Sarah pointed out that many of the world's leading universities, online courses, cutting-edge research, it's primarily in English.
Examples like Harvard, MIT, Oxford.
Right. It becomes almost essential for accessing higher-level learning in many fields.
This really underscores the role of English as a gateway to an immense amount of educational resources. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, even YouTube.
YouTube's huge for learning.
Absolutely. They offer this vast library of English language learning content, making it easier than ever to pursue self-directed learning in almost any subject you can think of.
And it's not just formal education, is it? Ryan and Sarah shared their own experiences learning practical skills.
Like what?
Photography, video editing, podcasting, digital marketing, just by accessing English language content online.
That's learning by doing, using the language.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool for continuous self-improvement in virtually any area you're interested in.
It highlights the democratizing power of the internet combined with the prevalence of English online, doesn't it? It empowers individuals to take charge of their own learning and acquire new skills independently. It just opens up a world of possibilities.
Now, this next area is fascinating, the connection between English and emotional growth.
This one surprised me a little initially, but it makes sense.
Ryan and Sarah discuss how English can become a language for introspection, for journaling, even for therapy. That's a really intriguing idea.
Well, what's noteworthy here is the potential for a non-native language to provide a different kind of emotional space, almost a buffer.
How do you mean?
Sarah's experience, writing in her diary in English, she found it easier to express certain emotions. It suggests that the slight linguistic distance can sometimes offer a sense of detachment, maybe, or a new perspective on your feelings.
Interesting. They also mention how exposure to things like motivational speeches, TED Talks, audiobooks in English can actually influence your thoughts and perspectives on emotional topics.
Shaping your understanding.
Sarah specifically mentioned Brené Brown's work on vulnerability.
Right, and this points to the powerful way language can shape and frame our understanding of complex emotional concepts, encountering new vocabulary, new expressions in English. It can provide a richer, maybe more nuanced understanding of our own feelings and those of others.
It allows you to articulate emotions in potentially new ways.
Exactly. Gives you new tools for expression.
Ryan and Sarah also shared some really compelling real-life stories from their listeners, too.
These were powerful.
Priya from India, using English to overcome geographical limitations and work with clients in Europe.
Fantastic example.
And Ahmed from Egypt experienced this significant positive shift in his personality after improving his English. It even led him to become a tour guide.
Wow, quite a change.
These personal stories offer really powerful real-world evidence, don't they, of the transformative potential of learning English.
Absolutely. They illustrate how acquiring this skill can lead to tangible changes in people's lives, impacting their careers, their sense of self, their connection with the wider world. Just profound changes.
These stories really underscore the idea of a mindset shift, too.
Mm-hmm. Moving beyond just the language itself.
Ryan and Sarah talked about how learning English can cultivate curiosity, open-mindedness, adaptability. It's not just about the words, but how the process changes your approach to new experiences and ideas.
Exactly. Language learning is a fantastic exercise in cognitive flexibility. It requires you to see things from different angles, to understand cultural nuances embedded within the language itself. And this mental agility naturally fosters a more adaptable and open way of thinking.
They also highlighted the development of valuable personal traits, things like patience, resilience, persistence.
Oh, definitely. You need those.
Qualities that are so important for growth in any area of life, really. Learning a language isn't always easy, is it?
Not at all. There are plateaus, frustrations.
And pushing through those challenges builds real mental toughness.
And the point about actually thinking in English, that signifies a deeper level of cognitive engagement.
More than just translating in your head.
Exactly. It suggests your brain isn't just translating, but is actually processing information and formulating thoughts within the structure of the English language itself, which indicates significant cognitive development, a real rewiring of your thinking patterns.
So, okay, how can we take all these insights and really maximize our personal growth through learning English? Ryan and Sarah offered some really practical advice.
Which is always helpful.
Setting specific, achievable goals, like, say, reading one English book a month or practicing speaking for a set amount of time each day. That seems like a fantastic starting point.
That principle of setting concrete goals is just fundamental, isn't it, for any kind of personal development. By having clear targets, you give yourself direction, a way to track your progress.
Keeps you motivated.
Yeah, they can be incredibly motivating and helps you stay focused,
They also emphasize the importance of integrating English into your daily life.
making it natural.
Thinking in English, even having internal dialogues with yourself, making it a regular habit, a natural part of your routine.
This immersion-like approach is highly effective. It just creates more frequent opportunities for practice and reinforces what you're learning in a natural, organic way.
Yeah.
It shifts English from being just a subject you study to something you actively use in your everyday experience.
And this is a big one. Engaging with content you genuinely enjoy.
Yes. Make it fun.
Whether it's music, podcasts, books, movies, learning becomes so much more effective and, frankly, more enjoyable when it's connected to your personal interests.
Absolutely. When learning is enjoyable, you're just much more likely to stay motivated and engaged for the long haul.
Stands to reason.
Plus, you're learning in a context that is meaningful and relevant to you, which really aids in retention and understanding.
Finally, they stress the importance of speaking without fear, focusing on expressing yourself rather than aiming for, perfect grammar right away.
That fear of making mistakes.
It can be a real obstacle for so many learners, a huge one.
It really can. And this is a critical shift in mindset. The primary purpose of language is communication, right? Fluency develops gradually through practice, which inevitably includes making mistakes.
You have to make them to learn.
Exactly. Embracing imperfection is absolutely key to overcoming anxiety and building confidence in your speaking abilities.
Of course, there are always challenges in learning. It's not always smooth sailing.
Definitely not.
Ryan and Sarah acknowledged the difficulties, the insecurities that often come with the process. Their main message was the importance of persistence. Just keep going.
Even when progress feels slow or frustrating. This reinforces the understanding that language learning is a journey, not really a destination you suddenly arrive at. There will be moments of difficulty, setbacks, but consistent effort and perseverance are absolutely essential for long-term success and continued personal growth.
And celebrating those small wins.
Yes, so important.
Every new word you learn, every successful little conversation you have that can provide crucial motivation along the way. It's about acknowledging and appreciating your progress, no matter how small it might seem at the time.
And the reminder that learning English is a unique and personal journey. It's not a competition against others. That's so important for maintaining a healthy perspective and avoiding unnecessary pressure.
Everyone learns differently.
Exactly, at their own pace and their own way.
So, to wrap things up then, learning English truly offers this powerful pathway to personal growth. It broadens our global connections, significantly boosts our confidence,
Enhances career prospects.
expands access to education, deepens our emotional understanding, and cultivates a more adaptable mindset. The experiences shared on English Speak really brought all those benefits into sharp focus.
What's truly remarkable, I think, is how learning a language often viewed as just a purely practical skill, right, can have such a profound and multifaceted impact on an individual's development.
Touching so many different
Yeah,
areas.
so many different and interconnected aspects of personal growth. It's quite amazing when you think about it.
Okay, so that brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Considering the profound impact that learning a new language, specifically English in this context, can have on so many different facets of your life,
Mm-hmm.
what other seemingly skill-based pursuits might hold similarly significant and maybe unexpected potential for your personal evolution?
Hmm, that's a good question.
It's definitely something to really consider, isn't it?
Yeah.